Welcome back, Brother Mike, to The Habits. It's nice to have you again here in The Habits. Last time, yung kasama nyo po, yung Sister of Saint Anne.
Yes, yung pamangkin nyo, sister.
Ganun ba yun? Kawag mo, tita. Tita na.
Okay.
And it's nice to have you back, brother. Although we also met during it was the January 1, I think,
sister.
that kayo na naman yung in-interview namin as guests. So this time, you are again as co-host. Wow, what an honor.
Yes, and I'm also honored, sister. Kasi syempre, iba pagkabati ka na yung kasama mo.
Ah, talaga? Ganun ba yun?
Yan, sister.
Po si Apolinario de la Cruz o mas kilalang Hermano Puli. Wow! Si Hermano Puli ay isa sa ating mga bayani. Naging donado po siya ng mga brothers at naglingkod siya bilang nurse sa San Juan de Dios Hospital. Nagtayo siya ng Compradilla de San Jose. Makita niyo sa kanyang larawan, sa kanyang painting, ang isang imahe ni San Jose. At sa pahintulot ng kanyang superior, pinayagan siya na palaguin ang Compradilla na kanyang tinayo at doon niya pinagpatuloy sa bayan ng Tayabas sa Quezon na kung saan doon siya naging martir.
Mabuhay Pilipinas, and hello to the rest of the world.
Welcome to your new companion in looking at the church, the world, and the society from the religious point of view.
I am Sister Monica,
And I am Sister Michelle.
join us for a weekly dose of inspiration and information straight from the consecrated men and women of the Philippines. We are your habits,
The Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts. And welcome sa masaya at good vibes na The Habits ng Bayan! We will be exposing who our founder is, what is our reason, where we originated.
Naku, hindi na ako makapaghintay na mapanood yan. At may pakilala kung sino si Tatay Simpliciano. At alam kong hindi lang ako. Pag kayo rin, mga ka-habits, na excited na.
Teka, patingin na excitement? Share nyo naman yan sa aming Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/amrsp.org. Don't forget to like and follow our page ha. Dahil kaunti na lang, mag 10,000 followers na tayo.
Supportahan nyo din ang ating mga FB live streams. How? By sending us some stars. Buy some stars and send them to us during the live broadcast. Para ngayon, you can also send animated virtual gifts attached to different star amounts that will appear in our stream.
For every star we receive, we earn $0 to $1. Just click the star icon next to the chat bar to try sending stars, but take note, it's only available to the AMRSP Facebook page.
And kahabits, hindi lang sa Facebook. Tuloy na rin na suporta hanggang sa YouTube. Visit our YouTube channel, AMRSP Media. Hit like and share this video. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe.
At hindi lang tayo pang social media, mapapanood din tayo sa TV Maria free channel every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. with replays every Thursday at 6 p.m., 10 p.m.
Mga kahabits, handa na ba kayo? Ano pang hinihintay natin? Simulan na ang kasiyahan.
With profound and grateful hearts, we, the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts in the Philippine Province, would like to share this brief historical video presentation, Live Happily, in honor of the 135th founding anniversary of our congregation. We owe our genesis to God, who has chosen us to do His mission by calling our founder, Father Simpliciano of the Nativity, who became His instrument to begin our journey of service and evangelization in the world. Father Simpliciano was born on May 11, 1827 at Piano di Sorrento, Naples, bearing the baptismal name Agnello Francesco Saverio Maresca. He was baptized at the Church of Santa Maria del Lauro. At the age of 17, while he was still a nautical student in Piano di Sorrento, he knocked at the convent in Portici, wanting to become a friar. In 1844, his religious name as Father Simpliciano of the Nativity was given to him during his investiture to the novitiate at the Alcantarine convent of St. Peter of Alcantara in Portici. On May 9, 1851, he was ordained priest, and after his ordination, he was called to Rome and was appointed as the secretary at the General Curia. The extraordinary life of venerable servant of God began when in June 1869, he was called upon to Araceli, Rome, and was assigned at the Hospital of the Constellation as confessor to the patients afflicted with syphilis. It is in here that he saw himself surrounded by a dozen of unfortunate women suffering from contagious sexually transmitted disease. They begged for help to save them from further perdition, for they did not want to continue to live a life of shame and disgrace. Moved with pity and compassion to this first group of young girls who expressed their desire to start a decent life, he sought permission from his superior to find a suitable place where these young girls can start their new life, and he obtained full moral support from Father Bernardino, his general minister. From that time onwards, he started to find ways and means on how to help these young girls. The first house where he placed the young girls was at Via Testaccio, where they were taught some trade like embroidery and other handicrafts. These activities helped them to heal their past and realize their value as workers and persons. From 1870 to 1879, he started welcoming many wayward young girls who were recovered from the hospital and wanted to renew their lives and be rehabilitated in the institute. In 1879, of December 14, the institute was formally inaugurated with the motto, Rehabilitation and Work. This becomes the home for rejected and abandoned young girls and poor children. In August of 1883, the institute was registered as a corporation whose purpose was not only for Christian and social rehabilitation of victims, but also the protection, shelter of young orphans and children at high risk. To serve as an agent of the society in the transformation of girls at risk into good women, good workers, and good mothers for the glory of God is part of the vision, mission, and goal statement of the Institute. With the spiritual guidance of Father Simpliciano, these girls found new hope for a decent means of living. They recovered the dignity as precious children of God. Slowly, the Institute formed structures to organize their daily life and begin to live as a fraternity, living in common without even realizing the later outcome. Some of the young girls asked Father Simpliciano to become their father protector on permanent basis by becoming their founder. And in 1866, of February 21st, the 15 young girls took their investiture to the novitiate. The new institute was born with the name Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis under the patronage of St. Margaret of Cortona. They are called Margaretines before it became to what the SFSC are called now, the Suore Franciscane dei Sacri Cuori, or the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts. Father Simpliciano never ceased working to look for benefactors to support the Institute, and when the place at Via Testaccio became congested, the noise of the bustling city disturbed the girls' need for silence and prayer. So Father Simpliciano decided to sell the property to find a suitable place where the girls can work better and focus much on their spiritual renewal. From February 1884 to May 1885, with the help of generous benefactors, they started to prepare the place and transferred the hospice of Santa Margarita to the mill turned into edifice at the Aventino Hill just adjacent to the Church of Santa Balbina. In 1889, of November 24, was the opening of the Apostolate in Capua in the convent of Santa Balbina, which later became the mother house of the congregation. This hospice of rehabilitation and work of Santa Margarita de Cortona at Santa Balbina, Capua, became an international figure of great importance. The constitutions of the Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis, under the patronage of St. Margaret of Cortona, recognizes the evils of the present society, like egoism and sensuality. With its realities as premise, the Institute aims to oppose itself as a fortress for the house of God and for the good of souls against the devastating torrent of these evils. The members of the Institute believe that they can achieve their aim by being educated in the school of piety with self-denial and austere life, thinking of themselves as least and last, spending their lives for the good of others, renouncing the world, sacrificing themselves for God and for the good of their fellow men, which is why Saint Margaret of Cortona is the patroness of the sisters, so that they may have her as a model of mortification and charity towards their needy neighbor. As the Institute grew, different sorts of needs also arose. Father Simpliciano would not give up in the face of humiliations, sacrifices, and dangers for the sake of saving the souls of the precious Margaretines and their great mission of charity. He was never tired and ashamed of begging alms from door to door. He was a strong man who does not spare his energy to attain his ideals. He was never afraid of persecutions and humiliations. For the love of charity, he is ready to embrace all. That is why charity embraces all has become the maxim of the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts. It is in prayer that Simpliciano find his strength to carry out his daily works. His confidence was based on his faith that God will not abandon him and the people entrusted to his care. The poor and abandoned children, especially the girls, striving to live a life of conversion. On May 25, 1898, Father Simpliciano called around himself the sisters, and with firm voice recommended them for the last time those virtues which during his lifetime he had so heroically practiced. Finally, he gave them in the Institute his last blessing after his death. The sisters were left reluctantly with no guide. Despite the founder's humble endorsement, they were abandoned by the Franciscan friars by the will of the incumbent Minister General, Father Luigi Lauer, a Recollect. The sisters were forced to leave their home, the hospice, and relinquish its administration to the government. From 1898 to 1902, the sisters entered into the epoch of dark ages in our history. Left in the hands of others, it was here that under the guidance of the diocesan clergy, Monsignor Vincenzo Marchetti, our name was changed to Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts. Although the hospice at Santa Balbina was handed over to the government, but the sisters remain in this hospice and they have no courage to leave the old house where they still hear the echo of the sufferings of our founder. If we look at the situation after his death, we could say in all truth that his plan was a broken dream. But the ways of the Lord are not our ways. The faith of Father Simpliciano and the sacrifice of his life could not fail. And so, lo and behold, after more than a century that this hospice of St. Margaret was under the government administration, and after 122 years of patient waiting and prayers of the sisters, a miracle news broke to the congregation when in the act of transformation of the Notary Merlino of April 1st, 2020, the proprietorship and administration of this hospice, the House of Foundation of the Daughters of Simpliciano, is now returned to the ownership of the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts.
I wonder why what inspires ang aking mga kasama para pumasok sa congregation namin. Let's figure out what attracts them to be an SFSC.
At first, my love to God that was being developed in the charisms of our very own founder, Father Simpliciano of the Nativity, and our seraphic father, Saint Francis of Assisi.
The first time I got attracted to SFSC was because of their habit. The sisters look very formal with their long habit and black veil.
When I first came in contact with the SFSC through the brochure,
A picture of a sister holding a very poor and undernourished child. It really touched my heart, and here started the inspiration that I want to be like that sister.
what attracts me to the SFSC way of life is the simplicity and uniqueness of its sisters.
I want to become sister because I wanted to live a life of total service to God and His people.
I can still vividly recall how as a young teenager who had decided which road to take at the crossroad, the words of Father Simpliciano became the source, way, and vision to reach, even up to this point of my life.
So, this led me to search and find meaning of my life until I found the answer in the Bible, which is telling me that you will catch people. So this is what made me stay. That as I get up in the morning every day, I am reminded to continue my initial calling to love and serve God by catching people back to Him.
Upon my entrance to this congregation and become a part of them, I realized it's from this family that I would begin my mission to serve the poor.
I am privileged and glad to see and experience how God's work of mercy and boundless love came into my life. As I carry out His mission and the different phases of Christ through our different apostolates in the center, the physically and sexually abused children, and the rehabilitation center. You can see also there the less fortunate, the rejected, the abandoned, the drug and alcohol dependents, the pregnated women, lost, the weary, and a lot more.
With the spirit of charity, we serve Christ by educating the children and youth, by working with the abandoned, the street children, the poor, and the needy. I feel so fascinated to our ministries. What makes me believe is in SFSC, there is no boundary to
to where you can do your mission. We can go anywhere and serve whenever we are needed.
I recall that life of charity of our founder, Father Simpliciano of the Nativity, and Saint Francis of Assisi. They were men of simplicity, doing joyful and humble service to God. I am so inspired to imitate their courage and perseverance to follow the call of God.
One of the foundations in fulfilling SFSC mission is to live community life within the congregation. To live the spirituality of our founder is to live in fraternity.
Prayer, community, and apostolate are only expressions of our consecrated life.
Convent life is not easy. It's not perfect. Every day, there are struggles we have to fight against our human weaknesses, temptations, and evils. But in all this encounter, I am fortunate because my faith grows steadfast for the sake of the mission and for the love of God.
Accepting myself as who I am and accepting others as who they are, and working on doing the will of God every day will create ripples of charity, transformation, and conversion in the world. That is the essence of being an apostle of charity.
Founder Father Simpliciano taught us how to embrace everyone, that we have to recognize each person as a child of God, hoping that from our example of meekness and charity, people will learn how to be good and virtuous.
Charity has no color. It embraces all. His theme of charity will always remind me it's okay not to be okay. No one is perfect in this world, but we are all created good.
This is what I found in SMSC, because my religious fraternity gives me hope and strength to keep moving forward to love and serve God and my neighbor the SMSC way.
I'm very, very grateful for having said yes to God through this congregation.
And I'm glad to know that I could share and live out the ideal of Father Simpliciano through this congregation.
This is who we are as daughters of Father Simpliciano, the former Margaritans to Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts.
Ano nga ra matatay kraw pang?
Iyan at iyagin sa trabaho. Tuhan na nangalan pagharas. Paeraya.
Mga kahabits, nabitin ba kayo? Hindi pa tayo nagtatapos dyan.
So ngayon, nakilala niyo na ang aming tatay, si Venerable Father Simpliciano. Sister Monique, parang napapaisip ka ata. Pwede mo naman yang i-share sa mga kahabits natin. Di ba mga kahabits?
Oh my, I'm just wondering kung naiskandalo ang ating mga kahabits nang malaman nila ang reality ng pinagmulan natin. Maaaring pangit ang aming simula, pero patutunayan namin sa inyo kung bakit nagtagal ng 135
ang masaya at good vibes na The Habits ng Bayan!
We'll need help from above, but if everybody pitches in, we can build a bridge of love. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, from nation to nation, standing through each generation. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate.
Hoy sigue habiendo mujeres que sufren violencia psicológica, violencia verbal, violencia física, violencia sexual. Es impresionante el número de mujeres golpeadas, ofendidas, violadas. Las distintas formas de malos tratos que sufren muchas mujeres son una cobardía y una degradación para toda la humanidad, para los hombres y para toda la humanidad. Los testimonios de las víctimas que se atreven a romper su silencio son un grito de socorro que no podemos ignorar, no podemos mirar para otro lado. Recemos por las mujeres que son víctimas de la violencia, para que sean protegidas por la sociedad y para que su sufrimiento sea considerado y sea escuchado por todos.
Talita kum ay kalinga.
Talita kum is companionship.
Talita kum jorta hai.
Talita kum ni mshikamano. Talita kum é prevenção.
Talita kum hiya tarmim al-karami.
Talita kum c'est protéger.
탈리타 쿰은 하나님의 열정입니다.
Talitha kum is solidarity.
Talitha kum is connections.
Talita kum silong chia ia.
Talita kum yra laisvė.
Talita kum es compromiso.
Talita kum podomin ba otras.
Talita kum este courage.
Talita kum es empoderamiento.
Talita kum orogono.
Talita kum është shpresa.
Ano naman kaya ang impact ng aming presence with those working with us? Tara, alamin natin.
Actually, 2/3 of my life is spent with the Franciscans.
Being part of a community for me is very essential.
I learned a lot and enjoy my tenure, and in particular, feel honored that I am part of the Simplicia Educative Community.
From a guidance counselor, a guidance coordinator, a professor, and a person as a school registrar.
I have dedicated 4 years of my teenage life as their working scholar.
I have stayed with the Franciscan sisters, specifically at IHMC, long enough that some of my veins have already rooted in.
As a Simplician educator for 11 years, I have improved a lot in terms of educating young minds.
Harvard Business Review gave 3 reasons why employees stay in the company. These are motivational factors, maintenance factors, and external factors. I believe that the reason that made me stay with an institution that is owned and managed by SFSC encompasses all these with a plus.
My entry with these institutions were not planned, not a personal choice. Thus, I consider it as God's plan, a calling, and that includes my being a teacher.
My involvement to this community is worth it because at the end of the day, I don't have to ask myself, what did I do today? Rather, I will wake up the next morning knowing that my contribution is for the good of all.
The core value of simplicity that is advocated by the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Heart, state note with S for the Hearts of Jesus and Mary, is what I believe to be one of the fundamental reasons why I stay.
Staying is like boxing. I have to focus on the mission because this is like my oar that helps me direct my goal.
The longer I stay with the sisters, the more I realize the true purpose of my life.
My commitment and dedication were heightened and cultivated as well.
One thing I really appreciate was the opportunities given to me like professional development and formation which have honed all aspects in my life.
We experienced the deeper meaning of peace and joy because they treated us as a family.
SFSC sisters truly embody their core values as guided by their loving patron, Saint Francis of Assisi.
They teach me to become humble and how to become a leader. This is the very virtue of Father Simpliciano of the Nativity.
What inspired me most of my stay as an educator is the molding of students' spirituality. In spite of their imperfections and limitations, with them we found the families.
It is a blessing to have people here and help you.
Thank you so much, and may you continually enliven our hearts by your simply loving company.
There's a gap in the world only love can fill, and we can bridge that gap if we have the will. No, it won't be easy. We'll need help from above, but if everybody pitches in, we can build a bridge of love. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, from nation to nation, standing through each generation. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, hand in hand, side by side, that's what it's gonna take. Then one day we'll cross that bridge to a better life, and we'll leave behind us that old world of strife. And when we reach our new world, hate will never feel. And I bet if we could see God's face, He'd be smiling from ear to ear. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, from nation to nation, standing through each generation. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, hand in hand, side by side, that's what it's gonna take. Let's build a bridge of love across the sea of hate, from nation to nation, standing through each generation. Let's build
SFSC, super filled with the spirit of charity.
SFSC, sporty Franciscan super chill.
SFSC, simply Franciscan, simply cares. SFSC, sisters are my family that supports and cares for me.
SFSC, so Franciscan, so cool.
SFSC, super faithful, super charismatic.
Spread wide, oh Lord. Deep our roots in the soul of your love. Fire and horse in the stream of your grace. There's thirsty souls with the water of life. Those that believe, we trust and be faith, and we will fear no heat, we will fear no drought. Our leaves will stay green and won't wither. We will yield rich fruit, we will bear much grain. Our branches spread wide, oh Lord. Whatever tomorrow may bring, come sun or storm, come wind and come rain. Lord, your spirit sustains us to stand firm and just believe. We will fear no wind, we will fear no drought. Our leaves will stay green and won't wither. We will yield rich fruit, we will bear much grain. Our branches spread wide, oh Lord. And we will fear no heat, we will fear no drought. Our leaves will stay green and won't wither. We will yield rich fruit, we will bear much grain. Our branches spread wide, oh Lord. Our branches spread wide, oh Lord.
Greetings of peace and good. Doing our ministries or apostolic works may pose a challenge, especially in our current situation, the presence of pandemic.
We religiously continue to deliver quality K-12 education.
We reshape everything without losing employees' advancement.
We are Father Simpliciano Academy. We are faithful, we serve, we achieve.
Mater Divinae Gratiae College was established by the Franciscan Sisters of the Sacred Hearts, a religious canonical institute founded in Italy on February 21, 1886 by the servant of God, Father Simpliciano of the Nativity. Since then, the congregation spread to other towns in Italy. Mater Divinae Gratiae College was one of the established mission schools, the first college to rise in Dolores land in June 1995. Located in 4 hectares land at Picardo Airport, Dolores, Eastern Samar. It was the most Reverend Leonardo Y. Medroso, the former Bishop of Morongan, who invited the sisters to put up an apostolate in the diocese. He helped the sisters to find a place which was made available through the generosity of Mr. and Mrs. Jeronimo Picardo with the help of Mayor Emiliana P. Villacarillo. The first batch of our SFSC sisters, Sister Yolanda Garcia, Sister Maria Alma Mangas, Sister Remedios Rabadao, and Sister Genoveva Cesante, were sent. Sister Alma was the first appointed head of the school, who was later replaced by Sister Lydia O. Canyon, SFSC, who served for 7 years. Originally, the plan was an orphanage, but in cognizance to the needs of the local community, particularly in the spiritual, educational, and technical development of the youth, Mayor Emiliana P. Villacarillo suggested to put up a college. Thus, the emergence of Mater Divinae Gratiae College, which was named after a college school in Italy dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of Divine Grace.
and goodwill. Celebrating the 135 years founding anniversary of our congregation is a joy and sign of God's endless love to every Franciscan sisters of the Sacred Hearts. As Franciscans of today, I can say that our existence continue to grow and influence the lives of the people and be relevant to the signs of the times, especially this pandemic crisis. We are women with strong faith, trustful to His providence, like our founder, Father Simpliciano of the Nativity. The celebration of the 500 years of Christianity affirm us, people of God, to deepen more our faith and contemplate God's wondrous gift given to us way back centuries ago. May this faith help us walk our talk and recognize His works in our hearts with simplicity and charity. Led us to achieve heavenly perfection by working hard towards our goal. This celebration enlivened our faith as we slowly uncover the roots of Christianity where we began. God bless us all.
Thank you very much mga kahabits for joining us today. Nag-enjoy ba kayo sa episode today? Let us know what you think mga kahabits. Comment down below.
Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/amrsp.org, and while you're there, click the like and follow buttons to be updated for more activities and live streams from AMRSP.
Also, support our live streams on Facebook by sending us some stars. You can buy stars and send them to us during the live broadcast. For every star we receive, we earn 0 to 1 US dollars. Kaya naman na yung buwan ng pag-ibig, send some love and send some stars.
At mga kahabits, bisitahin nyo rin ang ating YouTube channel. Just go to AMRSP Media, where you can also watch our weekly broadcasts of the habits, the Holy Rosary, and more contents from the consecrated life. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and help us reach 1,000 subscribers.
Mapapanood nyo na rin ang The Habits sa TV Maria channel every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. with replays every Thursday at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Kaya mga kahabits, let us stay connected!
If you think you have the inspiration to become like us, just contact our vocation directors at 88234109 or 09263049 or visit our FB page at SFSC Philippine Province Page.com.
Contact us, we will wait for you.
Again, we wish to thank you, our dear kahabits, for hanging out with us in the Habits Tambayan.
Next week, join us again as we explore consecrated life, the church, the world, and the society.
We are the Franciscan Sisters of the